And then there were three. Tuesday night, a trio of Democratic presidential contenders traveled to Nevada for a debate hosted by NBC News. The network invited the three frontrunners here for an open discussion of everything from the Iraq War to the storage of nuclear waste in Nevada. On the agenda first was the race debate, stirred on by a recent back and forth between Senators Clinton and Obama.
We can't solve these challenges unless we can come together as a people. And we're not resorting to the same or falling into the same traps of division that we have in the past.
It was Edwards who was able to remain unscathed by this topic, but was later asked,
"What is a white male to do running against these historic candidacies?"
I have to say, on behalf of my party, and I've said this many times, I'm proud of the fact that we have a woman and an African American who are very, very serious candidates for the presidency. They've both asked not to be considered on their gender or on their race.
For almost an hour, Clinton, Edwards, and Obama talked about foreign policy.
That if we're going to make a decision to send our young men and women into harm's way, that it's based on the best intelligence and that we've asked tough questions before we went into fight.
Who is ready on day one to walk into that Oval Office knowing the problems that are going to be there, waiting for our next president? A war to end in Iraq, a war to resolve in Afghanistan.
I think the system in Washington is broken. I don't think it works.
After some prompting by the debate's moderators, talk turned to domestic policy.
We were talking earlier about immigration reform, and I think that John and myself and Hillary may agree on the broad outlines of where we need to go.
And criticism of the Bush administration.
President Bush is over in the Gulf now begging the Saudis and others to drop the price of oil. How pathetic.
Wrapping out the night, candidates were asked when they decided to run for president.
I made it over New Year's this past year, and I made it because I believe our country has to have a new beginning.
It was December, a little over a year ago, made the decision with my family, and the discussion was, what is the cause of our life?
It was December of '06 while I was on vacation with my wife.
Pre-caucus polls in Nevada make it a close race among these three candidates now heading into Saturday's caucuses. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.